Welcome back to the Driveway Beers podcast with Mike and Alex. As always, we appreciate you listening. Please rate us on all the podcast platforms. Like, subscribe, comment, share wherever else you're listening, and enjoy the show. All right, welcome back to another episode. We appreciate you coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. I want you to go over to tacmd.com. Visit Adam Chubbuck with Douglas Realty. Team Alpha Charlie is his group. The reason why I always recommend Adam is because when you're looking for a service provider, you need to know what they provide that's different from everyone else. And for me in the real estate industry, I want someone who's knowledgeable, professional, and personable. Personable. Thank you. Okay. Good ad read.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we don't read shit here.
We can't read.
Can't read. I'm literally I literally just try to narrate my own personal experience with people. The fact that, again, he's not just opening the door for you to go in and take a look at a house. He can look at the house and tell you whether this is the one that you should spend your hard-earned money on. Should you take out a 30-year loan and purchase this house? And most people who are buying a home, what do you buy? 2, maybe 3 homes in your lifetime. And they're pretty spread apart. And look, for me, I know some things. But when I go to buy a home, I pay to have the professional know more than me. If I want someone who's just going to go open the door and tell me a house is available, I can go on Redfin and get that. Seriously, that's what they do.
Yeah.
If I need someone who's going to make sure that I get the best deal on one of the things I'm going to spend the most amount of money on in my entire life, I need someone like Adam who's going to make sure I get the best deal that I can possibly get. And if I'm selling that asset, I need someone who's going to make sure that I'm getting the most out of that asset. And that's the difference. You can go with a Redfin or just some generic agent or someone who just started, and they're going to open the door, they're going to let you walk in the house, and they're going to say, well, what'd you think? And you're going to say, well, what did you think? Like, oh, no, that's, it's a nice house, freshly painted. No, tell me about the neighborhood. Is this a nice neighborhood? Are the schools any good? What do you think about the construction of the house? Is there anything you saw here that might say that this might be poor construction or that something might be broken down? Just because you've seen so many houses, I want your professional opinion. That's the difference. So go to tacmd.com, talk to Adam, and let a professional guide you through the process, whether you're buying or selling. All right. Now on to the topic at hand.
Bit of a hodgepodge.
We're going to start on the cars. We're going to see where we go. By the way, I do want to say there's a guy named, what's his last name? His nickname's Rabbit. And it was like Rob something. He did an interview on VinWiki. Mm-hmm. And man, the guy could tell a story. He had that like southern drawl a little bit. And so now he does his own like Facebook videos. That dude could just tell me the phone book, and I would listen to it. But he owns a little car dealership, and he was a car salesman for years, really good car salesman. And you and I were talking. I think Elon Musk needs this guy to help sell that Cybertruck a little bit. Although right now I think sales are probably catching up to demand. That's the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Oh no, it looks like an F-350 fucked a DeLorean, and that's what came out. I saw one in the wild, and I had my son with me, and we pull up, and I see it. It's just a stainless steel trapezoidal thing, and I look, and my first thought was it was Fleet because I instantly knew what it was, but for a second I was like, what the fuck is that? Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, it's one of them. First of all, it's massive. It's huge. And it's ugly. like, I know trucks aren't made to look, to be sexy. But this thing isn't made to be look it's almost like make me the most ridiculous thing you can. And they did. Remember that there was a cartoon where all the people had like big triangle heads? Mm-hmm. It was like Rugrat. I don't remember what it was, but they all had triangle shaped heads. Phineas and Ferb or whatever the hell it was. My kids were too little to get into it, but it existed. That's what it's like. Phineas and Ferb's truck. That is the love product of the F-350 DeLorean one night stand. It's terrible.
I want to know who got paid to design that thing. Because this motherfucker went on Amazon, took a picture of a fucking doorstop, and sent it to Elon and said, "I think this is the next truck.
This is it."
Just put another triangle on the front of this doorstop. We got a truck. What the fuck? I don't. And somehow he was like, "Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, but I mean,
roll with it."
The thing is just so big and stainless, and then people don't realize like you have to like take care of stainless steel. Yeah, you don't just let it sit there like it oxidizes.
It's already rusting. Yeah, on some of these people,
it looks like crap. And you have to polish it. Like, look at your stainless steel appliances. If you have children that are younger than, I don't know, 18.
All fingerprints. All fingerprints.
Covered. Or for the ladies out, I know that we're not too popular with the female demographic, but any ladies out there listening, your husbands.
Right.
Because I know I do it. Like, oh, we just shut it. And
the dog's tongue print is on there. Yeah. It's like, oh my God.
And it shows every little dent. Like, because when the knuckleheads are playing lacrosse in the kitchen and hit the refrigerator with the lacrosse ball, like.
Oh my God. I can only imagine, like, it looks hideous.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to look up the weight of this thing.
6,000 pounds.
6,000 pounds.
6,000 pounds.
But see, the Model S only weighs like 500 pounds short of a Suburban. So they're heavy. People don't realize how heavy these things are.
You want to know how I know it's 6,000 pounds? So I watch YouTube. Mm-hmm. And we watch some of these travel bloggers. And oddly enough, in my feed, these travel bloggers are starting to review the Cybertruck. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right. So this YouTube couple, it's a young couple, and they travel all over the world.
Yeah, fuck them.
And their names are Kara and Nate.
Are they sailing around the world?
They don't do the sailing. They fly. And basically, so their whole thing is they've got another YouTube channel that teaches you how to manipulate the credit card companies to travel for free, basically. With points and miles.
They're stayed to the man.
Yeah,
I retract my previous disdain for them.
And they've done They do train trips. They do a bunch of different stuff. For young kids, they're fairly not fucked up.
Yeah.
So, for some reason, they did a video with the Cybertruck camping. So now, keep in mind, during COVID, they did about a year and a half basically being van life people. So they were traveling all around the country.
I hate van life people, too.
Well, they did go to Buc-ee's, though. They did an episode just on Buc-ee's, which is awesome. Buc-ee's, I want to go.
Yeah.
But I want to go to one in Texas, like a real one. And so they're doing a review on the Cybertruck as a camper van, but then for some reason they're doing one like they're giving it a test drive. I'm like, why would I listen to these people test driving a Tesla truck, a Cybertruck? Like, I've never heard them review driving anything, not even the van they were in. They reviewed like the back of the van where the house part was, but they never reviewed like how driving the van was. I mean, it was loud and clunky. That's what a Mercedes Sprinter van sounds like, with a diesel engine in it. It sounds like fucking asshole. that diesel engine up front sucks. And my dad had a Winnebago View, which was essentially technically it's a small Class C. Mm-hmm. But it's really a Class B. It's the size of a van. Mm-hmm. They just basically they put the van truck front on, and then they put a C body on the back. But the thing's only like 22 feet. It wasn't big, but it had, and I think it was on a Sprinter chassis too, and it had that Mercedes diesel engine in front. And my dad would literally use it like a daily driver, which was weird. Go figure it. My dad worked at a golf course in his retirement, so he would take it to the golf course, and like he would early in the morning he'd mow the lawns, and then he'd go and hang out in the camper after he was done in the parking lot. And he would sit at the dinette and eat breakfast and change out of his sweaty clothes, and like. It was pretty genius. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, okay, but when he drove it, he would drive me around it. And I'm like in my 30s when we were doing this. It was so clackety. Like, it was like the old school diesel.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, Dad, is there any insulation between the engine bay and this? Because I'm hearing all of it. He goes, no, it's loud as shit. This is the loudest diesel thing I've ever. I hated it.
Yeah. Well, from a guy that spent his life on airplanes, propeller-driven airplanes.
Navigating C-130s, this is loud to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, why didn't you get rid of it? And he goes, we probably will. We'll probably. And that's when he ended up just trading that one in for the big Class A.
Yeah.
So, and then that was the one we took over. It was a 2007 Winnebago Adventure that we had for a while, and then we traded that one when it went past Maryland inspection. Anyway. But no, that thing was loud as fuck. But they never said shit about the driving experience in this thing.
But they decided to do it on the Tesla.
But they did a driving review of the Tesla.
What did they say about it?
It was wicked fast. No shit.
Yeah. It's
a fucking electric car.
Yeah, they all have good acceleration until the battery dies because it's, it has 300 miles of range. Yeah, if you drive it like grandma,
right, without
the AC on.
I'm convinced that the dumbest and worst drivers in America right now are Tesla owners.
I think there's some valid, at least anecdotal evidence to support that. Probably scientific.
I'm just saying,
crash data.
Next time you're driving around, see which car
is going 60 in the left lane,
and like that literally happened today. Yeah. Today, I'm driving back from Costco, favorite place on earth, adult Disneyland. Tesla Model X, left lane, motherfucker's on his phone. Now keep in mind, this thing's got a center console screen the size of fucking Antarctica.
Right, it's like 2 iPads.
He's literally got a phone on the dash that he's touching. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You have a TV in your center console,
right? And
you still have your phone mounted.
Right, it's like a 37-inch TV in a vertical display.
I could have done that with an 85 Honda Accord. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? And you're driving like a putz because you're playing on your phone. Like I'm convinced Tesla drivers are the same assholes that drive while they're on their phone. Mm-hmm. Like, not talking on it, like actually doing shit naps. Like, I need to play Candy Crush while I drive.
Yeah. Not only do you have Candy Crush still on your phone,
yes,
but you're playing it,
yes,
while you're driving.
I mean, I get it. You're crushing it.
Yeah.
But you're driving 30 miles an hour in the left-hand lane. You need to die. Like, why wasn't your car with the full self-driving the one that plowed into the back of a semi and decapitated you? Why not you?
Nope, you're still here.
You could have saved the rest of us this misery of going 30 in the left lane. But nope, you're still here in your Tesla.
Yeah.
But it's not just him. It wasn't just him. The dumbest lady in the car drop-off line.
Tesla?
White Tesla Model Y. It's like the more expensive the Tesla, the dumber you fucking get.
Was that inversely proportionate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone just sprinkled the good luck fairy dust on you where you had enough money to buy this thing.
Right.
Look, I mean, don't get me wrong, probably a good looking woman. Maybe the husband's a successful dude. Don't know. Maybe she's a successful one. Maybe, good looking people tend to be more successful than what you're seeing here, not on camera. The face made for radio. But God damn, it's almost universal at this point. Like, I'm behind a Tesla, I'd probably dislike it.
Yeah.
Because of the person.
It's like the Prii, too, when they're out in the left lane being green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just flogging the hell out of that tiny little 4-cylinder engine.
Banging it out.
But so the Cybertruck though had some big problems. Like it kept getting delayed,
Yep.
and then it had a huge recall, and the truck itself, I think there was a problem with the accelerator. Like it would get stuck down, and so it would just keep going.
Like a Prius?
Right, like the
Toyota?
maybe it's, but this was because like the physical accelerator itself, like there was a piece that got disconnected and then lodged under another trim piece that just got stuck down. So if you reach down there with your hand, you could pull it back up. Apparently the doors, like the panels, are sharp. Like I think I was listening to some podcaster or YouTube thing, but it was, I don't remember which one it was, but like they put like a chicken wing in there and slammed the frunk, and it like cut the chicken wing in half. Mm-hmm. It's like, what would it do to your finger? Like, what are they doing? And this has been my problem with Tesla from the beginning. If I was in the electric car market and I had the kind of coin for Model S, I'm buying a Porsche Taycan, because the Porsche is made by an automobile manufacturer. If you're spending that kind of money on a car, you shouldn't have, trim pieces coming off or hear whistles coming through the doors. Like, that's not acceptable for that kind of money.
Right.
At least the Porsche has the same, if not better, performance, and Porsche knows how to make cars. The reason Tesla does everything through the screens is to save money on switchgear. But I like having actual switches, because in the dark and stuff, and when you're supposed to be paying attention to the road, you can do things by feel. That's why cockpits of airplanes still have analog switches. They can screen to everything, but if that cockpit environment, if it gets smoky or whatever happens, the visibility is compromised, they can still operate it by touch, rather than, I'm pushing this area of the screen. The flaps came down. I didn't want them to come down.
Yeah.
So I'm just not impressed with them, and I think a lot of people who are impressed, and this is one of my other beefs with electric cars, that people are so impressed with them, they're not car people. They're tech people. They're early adapters. They're the ones that wait in line for freaking iPhones. Mm-hmm. Like, you're a douchebag if you're waiting in line for a phone. Wait till next month. You went your entire life without it. You can't wait another month. You have to have it today.
Right.
So, and these are the people that are buying cars, and unfortunately, I think they're driving the car market now. Because for whatever reason, whenever you see like the ad for the new Cadillac, who buys Cadillacs? Do millennials buy Cadillacs? Generally, no, unless they're rappers. Unless they're rappers and it's an Escalade. But
are they still buying Escalades?
I think rappers are.
All right.
Yeah, but I probably have more in common with the rapper than the average Cadillac buyer who's like 80. But they show the young millennial looking smug as she passes a car in her freaking Eldorado or whatever, Evoque or Invique or whatever it is, spelled with a Q because it's electric now and they have to spell it differently. But that's who they market these vehicles towards. And these people aren't car people. If you're, I'm really into electric cars, you are, okay. Like, you're not a car person, you're a tech person.
Yeah, I think all the early adopters, though, are pretty much gone. The people buying them now are buying their second one, because they bought them initially, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You can get a 10-year-old Tesla now. A Model S.
And here's the thing. The Model S has not had a clean sheet redesign. Like, when you look at cars in their design cycle, I would say the E-Class is probably, price-wise, closest to the S-Class is beyond your, except for like your high-end Model S. But for the most part, I think the E-Class has gone through 2 redesigns since the Tesla's been out.
So it used to be redesign would come out year 3, got a mid-cycle refresh.
Yeah, like a facelift.
Like they redid the headlights or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little touches on the interior, nothing too drastic. And then 3 years later, it would be a brand new clean sheet design. Mm-hmm. So every 6 years or so.
Yeah, and certain things like pickup trucks may go a little bit longer. Right. Because they're more utilitarian. Like, they still have big fleet sales. That's still a big part of it.
Well, there's only a certain amount you can do with a cab and a bed.
Generally, they make it uglier.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still a fan of the early or the mid 2000s body styles that they used to have.
Oh, the GMT 800 is a classic.
But yeah, but the interiors look like fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've got a GMT 800.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. It grows on me. Like, it's grown on me where I like it. Mm-hmm. But it's had to grow on me.
Yeah.
I was more of a fan of the exterior than I was the interior. Especially because I really like the GMT 900 interior better. Mm-hmm. Now, the seats weren't as comfortable. Like, I wish they would have taken the same quality of interior materials, seats-wise, and put that in the 900 series, and maybe took the dash materials from the 900 series and had that in the 800.
Yeah. But GM has never been known for... They've been known for acres of plastic.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm not... Yeah, I think I just like the look of it better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I mean, trust me, the plastic in the 800 is really fucking plasticky.
Yeah. It's like when you...
Like, I tap my nail on it, it sounds like plastic.
Oh, yeah, when you drive it, like, you ever know, like, when someone's trying to open up a, like, bag of chips but be quiet about it?
Yeah.
That's the audible experience in the inside of one of those things under any driving condition.
Yeah. I've got that mysterious plasticky sound in my dash somewhere. Mm. And of course, you're never going to find it.
No.
Because you don't know which part
and
it is.
And if you tried to find it, you'd create 15 more of them.
Correct, yes. I'm going to stay steady with the one. And because it's not that bad. But yeah, the Tesla people drive me nuts when they drive. Can't stand it. The design of that thing, of that Cybertruck, fucking stupid. And people literally have been like, if they cut it too close when they're walking around the truck, they can, like, tear clothing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you made a fucking hazard to own.
Yeah.
But I get it. He's going to get a ton of people. Like, there's a wait list to get one. I get it. It's like when the Model Y first, or the Model S first came out.
Yeah, they get hard-ons over these things. Mm-hmm. And even if it sucks, they defend it to the end.
Meanwhile, you got the Rivian RT1, which actually looks somewhat like a truck, except for those front stupid ass headlights.
Yeah, the oval things.
Why?
First of all, I hate all halo lights. They're dumb.
This shit, it just looks fucking. It's like, oh, we need to be different because we're hipsters.
Yeah.
No, fucking. That was not the right choice.
I liked halo lights before they were cool.
Right, but like those, it's like the vertical oval.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you just put two vaginas on the front? Why don't you just make it a vertical smile, for fuck's sake?
So I saw I was getting, on Monday, they have the pizza special. Mm-hmm. So I was walking in, and parked right in front of the pizza place was a BMW iX5 or whatever. BMW, I think they're calling everything that's electric or some dumb shit.
I thought it was only i3 and i8. They have more I's now?
There's like an SUV version of this thing.
Jesus.
So I walk in, and I see it. I can tell it's a BMW because it's fucking ugly. And then, like, I thought, like, everyone said Chris Bangle ruined BMW. Like, the new guy was like, hold my beer. And just destroyed it. So it has the horrible, ginormous double kidney grill on it, the BMW trademark.
I hate
those. However, on this thing, because there's nothing behind it, there's no radiator there, it's plastic. It's just two big ovaloid plastic pieces with like fake honeycomb looking pattern.
No air runs through it.
No air needs to run through it. There's nothing back there. Jesus. But they still had to stick it on there. You know, it's like it's made out of Legos. Like, it's awful. And
they have to make it look like a real car.
Yeah. But then the inside of it's acres of screens. Spend enough time looking at screens. I don't need steam gauges. I mean, you know what? I like steam gauges.
Listen, maybe the battery wouldn't need to be so big if the screen wasn't so fucking big.
Right.
Could you take like 2 cells off the battery if the whole interior wasn't screens?
Yeah. Like now they have the screens that go over to the passenger side.
Uh-huh.
Like it just goes completely across.
Right.
What does the passenger need a screen for? What are they doing?
Like if I'm the driver of the car, the front passenger is lucky if they get power seats. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a major decision in my car buying purchase. Other than the passenger seat being comfortable with legroom. I don't care about it.
I actually hate power seats. So my wife is short, and I'm tall. So when I go to get into a car that she has been driving, I have to move the seat back. Because if she leaves it where I am, she can't reach anything.
Right.
So for me to drive, she has to move it forward when she drives, so then I have to move it back. Back in the day, you would just reach under the seat and grab the big bar and push it back in one thing. It took a second. Mm-hmm. Now I have to push the button back and wait for it to go.
It's like
Meanwhile,
Austin Powers waiting for the steamroller.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's always raining when this happens. It's never nice. And I'm pushing this thing, getting rained on, and she parks in the driveway because, I'm a man and my wife, I park on the street. And, of course, there's a tree that overhangs the driveway. So it's not just rain falling on me. It's like the big drops of water from the tree.
Right.
Now it's getting in the car while I'm waiting for this stupid seat to go back, which could have just gone back with... And how often do I adjust my seat? If it's just me, never. The manual's fine. I don't need a... Are we that fat and lazy? We need a little motor to do it for us?
Listen, I'm gonna go one step further. I need memory seats.
So I had a GMC Envoy that knew the remotes. So if I had my keys and opened it up, it would move it for me.
Uh-huh.
I'm good with that. I don't want to stand there and hold a button.
That's a good point. All right. So your thing is waiting.
Yeah.
Whereas if you press a button and you're in.
Yeah, it did everything.
Yeah.
Because it was an Envoy Denali. It was actually a really nice vehicle, except for the fact that it was a piece of garbage. But when it was running, it was great.
I like those Envoy.
It had an inline six.
The inline six was you could not beat that thing.
Everything else though sucked on it.
Yeah.
But it was super smooth. It was heavy, so it rode nice. But yeah, so with that one, the mirrors would even move.
Yep.
To my positions, and it was cool.
Yep.
If I grabbed her keys by mistake, then I was screwed because But there's a button on the door that I could push. Like I think it had 2 different settings, so there's 1 and 2.
Right.
So you'd push 1 or 2. I was 2, so I'd push it and it would just go to where I needed to go.
I'm a big fan of memory seats.
Yeah.
Big fan. My car doesn't have it. My little Chevy doesn't have it, and I miss it. That's probably the one option I wish it had. Mm-hmm. But my wife's car the Ford's got it, which, by the way, I got one more payment on that car.
Oh, okay.
It's paid off.
I just got a bill for our van, and I think we owe $1,300 on it. This is nice. It's going to be paid off this summer.
Looks so good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm almost there.
And I'm never getting rid of it, ever.
You know what? I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to make that last payment on her 2013 Ford Edge.
It's going to die.
The engine's going to blow up. And I'm going to have to sell it for $500. So I won't even get good trade-in value for it. I'm going to be so mad. I will sit here and just yell into a microphone for an hour.
Just go buy another GMT 800.
I can't fix. This one isn't fixed yet.
It's fine. You're just being too ridiculous with it.
I honest to God, at this point, I'm about to call a 4th mechanic in on it. The mobile one this time. I haven't even come to me. I mean, because it just keeps doing the same shit. It's like you're pressing on the accelerator lightly, going a little uphill, and it's like it's going it doesn't really slow down, but you're going. It's like vrn, vrn.
The average person probably wouldn't notice that. You just know it's there because it's your. But
it gets worse as the car gets warmer. Let's put it this way: I'm not taking the car on a 2-hour trip because I don't know if it would get me back. Mm-hmm. Even though it starts up every single time and it hasn't failed yet.
Well, if the Edge dies, just replace the entire drivetrain. Well, brand new
on the Edge.
No, on the.
I thought about it.
It'll cost you less than any new car you buy.
Well, I mean, so I'm going to have... My thing with this is I don't care what's wrong with it. I just want to know exactly what's wrong and to fix that. I don't want to replace the torque converter and then have it not be the torque converter. I don't want to replace the fuel pump and have it not be the fuel pump. I just want to know what's wrong with it so I can fix it. I don't have a problem fixing it. I want someone to be able to tell me what the fuck's wrong with it. The problem is when I took it to the mechanic, it didn't do it. But now it's doing it all the time. So I'm like, all right, I got it doing it. Maybe if I just do my normal runs, and I got the guy in there with the scan tool, maybe he'll be able to tell me what it is. I mean, I got one guy telling me so the transmission guy said it's not the torque converter and it's not the transmission. Another mechanic said it felt like a transmission slip. The other mechanic is saying it's probably the torque converter. But he's also saying, well, there's a bunch of misfires now. But there's not enough misfires where it puts the check engine light on. And that's with the new computer in it. So he wants to put the old computer in that we can't get into because someone locked us out for making a modification to it. Mm-hmm. Because that one, when we had that one in, didn't have the misfires. Like, yeah, but we can't modify it. And it didn't have the up-to-date... Like, he couldn't update the software on it. Like, that's what he meant. Like, he couldn't get in. He couldn't update the software to the latest version. I was like... I need a mechanic, a good mechanic, who can diagnose things and then let me know what the fuck it is. That's it. That's all I need. So I'm hoping that this guy will be the last mechanic I need for this thing. And then it'll be fixed. If it's fixed, it drives wonderfully. I'm going to have to paint, though. Now, I already painted the roof. Mm-hmm. Paint job's held up good for 6 to 8 months. So I like the paint. But now it's on the rear doors. Like the rear passenger doors. So I'm going to have to wet sand. I have to tape off the window. I'm going to just paint the whole door. Problem is, that means I got to pretty much plastic wrap the rest of the truck. And then hopefully it's a sunny day. And so that the paint cures. Because it's paint acrylic. It's paint, acrylic, and clear coat all in one. Mm-hmm. And it's Rust-Oleum. And like I said, I did it on the roof, and it still looks fine. Yeah. Like, so it's just going to take me time to do all the sand and the prep work. And of course, like, I got to, like, break it up over numerous days, right? Because, you know, kids. Fucking taking up time and shit. So that's gonna be a summer project for me. I got to do both rear passenger doors, and if I'm feeling real ambitious, I might just do the front doors with it too. But it's the prep work. It's the sand. The sanding is what's going to take me forever. Yeah, because I got to wet sand them. Got to wet sand, and like, I'm down to bare metal at this point. Now, most people would say just go to like a paint shop and get it done properly.
Go to Baco.
But it's $5,000. Ooh. Like, I'm like $5,000 with on one that doesn't run right.
To get it wrapped.
I thought about that. The problem, they said with wraps though, it's got to be a smooth surface. Mm. So you can't just wrap it if it's
can't
if
wrap
the paint's
rust.
Shit. No, you can't wrap bad paint.
Some of the wraps, I like those wraps that are like the matte finish. Like, that looks really cool.
So I thought about doing the wrap. A paint job would probably be more permanent, just because the wraps bubble up. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to paint it, I'm going to paint it something other than white.
Yeah, then you got to do all the interior, like the doors,
right?
The inside. I mean, that.
Do I though?
I mean, you don't have to. But when you open the hood, it's going to look like shit.
It's a 20-year-old truck.
I mean, I wouldn't paint anything. I would just let it GM rot, badge of honor.
I don't want it to rust away, though.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Like, I don't want the rust to get at it, right? Because it's a rust-free truck right now. Mm-hmm. As long as the frame and the panels are good, then I don't have to, like, start doing Bondo and all that shit. So the paint protects it from that. That's what I'm trying to save it from. So I think I'm just going to... I think I'm gonna protect the. I might do the all 4 doors at one time though, just so I don't have to mask everything. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll have to mask off the roof, I'll have to mask off the rear and the front and the boards and whatnot. But I think that's what I'm gonna do this summer. See how it turns out. And I got like another spot on the roof that's got to get done too, but I didn't touch that one before. But I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think buying that 20-year-old truck is probably still worth it because look at it this way: I'm $14,000 into it.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost we're at May. Let's say we're at May 1st, so I've gotten 14 months out of it. So right now I'm what, $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Now I could probably turn around and sell it tomorrow for $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I'm really into it for $9,000. I'm still into it for a lot less than a brand new.
You can't buy any brand new vehicle for $14,000.
Well, I'm just thinking like per month, right?
Yeah.
So if I was paying $1,000 per month on a new-ish one, that's what I'm comparing to. I'm not.
Isn't that crazy that $1,000 car payment doesn't even make someone like, oh, okay, like I'm not paying that much,
right?
But $1,000, like, you mean to tell me that you're paying for? I mean, they're giving out what 8-9 year car loans now.
Yeah, and it's still $1,000 a month. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Like, do you need that? Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, when my Sienna dies, I'm buying an old Suburban, and I'll just buy them. And when they die, I'll buy another one. As long as she has a decent car to drive around in, because if her car breaks down, if a car breaks down when I'm in it, it's my problem. If a car breaks down while she's in it, it's my problem.
Right.
So just let her have the new car. I don't really care. Like, who am I out here to impress? So I can drive to my job in a freaking new car? Like, it just doesn't make it. I'd rather spend my money on other things.
Here's a question for you. If you were going to ask me, let's say you're me,
mm-hmm.
between the 2021 Chevy Equinox, brand new car, basically, it's only got 21,000 miles on it, and a 20-year-old GMC truck, Yukon, which one do you think gets daily driven?
The Yukon. Yeah.
The 20-year-old truck. Yeah. That's the one I choose to drive because it's comfortable as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'll be honest with you, part of it's because I put that touchscreen wireless Android Auto system in it,
mm-hmm.
which was about, I think all in, I think it was like $700. No, that's not true. $650. Not get me wrong, I put 4 other speakers in there, so that added some cost to it. But I did it myself. Didn't have to pay anyone. Crutchfield did all the wiring for me.
Yeah.
But for about $750 total, with the speakers and everything, I got wireless Android Auto in a 20-year-old truck. Yeah. And I still have heated seats, memory seats. The kids both have heated seats in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Got 3 rows, dog fits in it, and everyone's getting there comfortable.
Yeah. We
might not get back. But
you'd be comfortable on the side of the road.
It would be very comfortable. Drive smooth. It's just really easy to drive. I'm surprised at how easy it is to drive. Looks nicer than the other thing, in my opinion. If I could just get it right, you'd be hard pressed to get me to sell that thing.
Yeah.
Because the engine's probably never going to die. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to put enough miles on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the shit, I got it with 177. It's got 182 in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally put 5,000 miles on it a year.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to put? I don't even know if I'll get it to 200,000 with how I drive.
Right.
I just couldn't imagine myself selling it. It's cheap as shit to own because it's owned outright.
Yeah.
Maybe cost me $100 a month for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now, the only thing that's getting me is the mechanic bills. But once those are done, like once this thing is fine, I don't have any more bills with it.
Right.
I mean, shit, man. Like, I know people like pan those things, but if you get one that's right, forget it, man. You're not going to find anything that comfortable now, in my opinion.
And if you want, even the vehicles of comparable size, so like GM with that platform, Suburban, Yukon, Tahoe, all that, they changed the interiors with I guess starting with the 2015 model, like the one that was right before this current generation.
Okay.
And they made, for whatever reason, I guess because of Car and Driver, Motor Trend, they try to make everything feel like a sports sedan. It's a freaking giant SUV, but it has like the center console and everything's. You feel like you're kind of in a cockpit rather than. Why they do that? It's a big truck. Let it be what it is. Mm-hmm. They made it feel smaller on the inside than yours does.
Right.
And it's such a stupid, unnecessary thing to do. And then Ford putting its, in Expeditions, putting a console shifter in there. It's a freaking truck. Put it on the steering column where it belongs. Like, oh, wait, this isn't a big SUV. It's a sports sedan because it has the shifter's down by my knee. No, dude, it's still a big, giant truck.
The amount of room you get back in the center console by having that shifter on the column, I didn't realize it until I got one.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I don't know why. It doesn't, like, having it being in the center, it doesn't make any sense to me anymore.
No. Well, now they're all push buttons anyway.
Right. And I get
or
that.
Knobs or whatever.
Sure. I just don't, I mean, I really like having it on the column. Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you why, though. I know I get more use out of my center console because of it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I got storage galore in that thing. Because I took out the 6 CD changer. Mm-hmm. And so basically, I just gutted that metal housing. I wrapped it inside with marine vinyl so that things wouldn't slide around. But I found a gray marine vinyl that matches the interior of it. I mean, it doesn't look stock, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
Like, if someone got in it and they look at it, like, they might give it like a, but they're not going to be like, they're not going to think something else was there.
Yeah, that compartment goes all the way forward under.
It is.
You could put like a rifle in that thing.
I could put 2 smartphones side by side in that thing, plus my sunglasses, plus my wallet.
Yeah.
The only thing, it's a little deep, so like if I put my wallet in there, it goes all the way to the back. I got to get my fat fingers all the way back there. That's a little rough, so I don't put the wallet there. But the phones, they stick right in there, and because of the wireless Android Auto or the CarPlay, you put your phone there, it connects automatically.
Yeah.
But it's not connected, like wired.
Yeah.
So I don't have wires dangling. It's just a neat thing. I like that quite. I've said like 20 times, by the way. I hear myself doing it. But yeah, like, would I do it again? Yes. Would I probably get the XL? Yeah, I'd probably get the Yukon XL over the regular Yukon. Mm-hmm. And I still may at some point. I might trade it to someone or just see if someone wants to do a swap.
Yeah.
I got the bench seat in the second row. I'd probably do the captain's chairs instead. All personal preferences, though, right? It's got nothing to do with the truck itself. It's just things difference that I want.
And I'd go opposite. I would go bench seat because I have 3 kids, and if I need to,
the third row though,
right? I can. But here's the thing: I can drop that third row and still have the 3 of those knuckleheads sit 3 across the back, and have a ton of cargo space.
So in the regular one, I would agree with you. Drop the third row, but in the XL or the Suburban, there's enough room behind that third row.
There's plenty of space.
You don't have to.
So like in the van, ours has the captain's chairs in the middle, but it also comes with a little insert that you can put to make it 3 across.
Yep.
And when they were babies and we'd go places, we have all the baby crap to bring. So we'd have to drop the third row to fit all the crap.
Right.
That they need, in air quotes.
Right.
But now that they're not babies, like if we go to see the in-laws for a week, they bring, they each bring essentially a little like duffel gym bag. Because in the summertime, they're bringing what? Essentially gym clothes and bathing suits.
Right.
And whatever chargers they use for their various devices they bring. So it's like they don't need a lot of space. So we go somewhere for a week and we're not even dropping the third row.
I live with 3 ladies.
Yeah.
It's full suitcases plus backpacks plus pillows.
That's what gets me is the bedding. Like, I look at the back, it's like, what do you...
Gotta have their pillows.
It's like you guys made this, like, You need a pillow? Like we're going to a foreign country that doesn't have pillows?
My girls are. I get it though. I have a pillow that I like, and when I go to a hotel, and I'm like got my head on this like hotel pillow that doesn't hold up. Mm-hmm. Like I literally have to put 4. Like I stack 4 to be like equal to 2. Now I use 3 at home. Mm-hmm. I like to be elevated.
Yeah.
Dude, I have the worst night's sleep in hotels.
I can't sleep in hotels either.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
The pillows the pillows don't support.
Yeah.
And the ones that do are too hard. Like there's never there's no Goldilocks. There's no middle.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I like a firm mattress too, which most places don't have.
Not me. I like it soft.
No. When I sleep on a soft mattress, my back's screaming at me. I like the firm.
I don't know if you got a valid point. So I don't know if like I get good sleep on mine, but I feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't have the right mattress for me, but I don't know.
Well, speaking of sleep, I got a CPAP, and my sleep has freaking changed. It's unbelievable the difference. Like I actually feel like a human being when I wake up. So
I was wondering about that because I think I've got the sleep app. I think we've proven that I've got it.
I would bet my next year's worth of paychecks that you have it.
Yeah. I don't think I could sleep with something on my face though.
You know what? I thought I couldn't either, and like anything, you get used to it. And now, it's like if sometimes I'll forget to put it on, or I'm just like, say I fall asleep on the chair downstairs, and then I go upstairs, I'll just fall in bed, and when I wake up in the morning, I can immediately tell the difference.
Really?
So, and it keeps the one I have. It keeps track of your events and all this stuff. So, with my sleep study, I had to do a 2-day sleep study at home, thankfully. And over the 2 days, I thought I slept 8 hours a night. I only actually slept for 10 hours over the 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And over those 10 hours, I had 81 interruptions. So I woke up 81 times over 10 hours worth of sleep over 2 days. So now it keeps track, and I'm down to like 2 interruptions a night. So because the machine kicks in and really when you're just normally breathing, you don't feel it. You're like, is this thing on? So what I'll do is I'll kind of open my mouth a little bit, and I'll feel it putting that positive pressure in. Like, oh yeah, it's on. So, and mine just covers it's just the nostrils. It's not the whole. You don't look like a fighter pilot.
So I normally sleep with my mouth open. Mm-hmm. So I try to get one of those mouthpieces.
Yeah, but the thing is, even with your mouth open, it still works. You know, I can breathe with my mouth open, and it still works.
Is it just humidified air though? Because is it supposed to like moisten the back of your throat?
So it pushes air. It keeps your airway open with air.
Okay.
So think of your airway like a balloon, right? And if you compress the balloon, air can't pass through it. And that's where you get snoring and all that stuff. It's the noise. But you put a little pressure in there, that balloon opens up, and now the air can flow freely. So that's all it's doing. And it's silent. Like, you can't hear it at all. You don't hear fans blowing or anything like that. But it's, I can't say enough about it. Like, you know, if you think you have sleep apnea, do the sleep study, do whatever you can. Insurance paid for the whole thing. I came out of pocket for nothing. Mm. So, and it's made a huge difference in the quality of sleep I get. I'll sleep for 6 hours and wake up feeling great.
I might have to, because I tried the mouthpiece one that brings your lower jaw forward. Mm-hmm. It's too clunky. Like I don't like the way it feels in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's adjustable though, so like I can I had a jaw. I felt like my jaw was sore the first night or two, mm-hmm. and then I adjusted it back a little bit, and then it was fine. But it's just really uncomfortable because it's like it's really thick around the teeth. Mm-hmm. So like it feels like it's pushing my lips out a lot. And I've got a bar behind my bottom teeth. Mm-hmm. And like when I did braces, like when I was in my teens, the orthodontist just never took it out. So it's just been there. Mm-hmm. So that kind of messes with any mouthpiece you got, especially an upper and a lower.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm probably heading to a CPAP at some point. It's just a matter of me coming to grips with it. I do wish that I could try the different nose pieces to see which would be the most comfortable. But I remember when I tried to do a sleep test at home, man, I just could not sleep with that shit.
Oh, I was miserable. I was miserable. Because it's just not, you have to have the thing across your chest and then the wires and then it's this thing on your nose and that was more uncomfortable than the actual CPAP that I have.
Yeah.
So, because it's made out of this soft, like silicone rubber, the air hose connects up top.
Oh, okay.
So that it's not hanging down and it's on a swivel mount. So no matter which way you turn your head, it can move freely. So I generally sleep on my stomach and I'm fine with it.
I'm a side sleeper. So for me, like, the issue would be because my face is kind of buried in the pillow, would it push against the nose piece a little bit?
So the way mine's set up is they call them nose pillows. So essentially it's two little things that go kind of fit in your nostrils, but it's not strapped down. So it's not like, you don't feel like someone's like fish hooking you. And then it goes either side and up, and then there's a little soft velvety strap that goes around the back of your head to keep it from falling off. The thing it takes air from both sides. So from the top where the air inlet is, it goes both sides. So if you're sleeping on your side and you pinch one side off, the air just goes around the other side. And it makes no difference. So, yeah, I've had no problems with it. The first night I was like, this is kind of weird, but I fell asleep and woke up. I was like, wow, I feel great. So I feel like I actually slept.
I have a feeling the next couple of months that's where I'm going to be at.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of other benefits when it comes to like, blood pressure, blood sugars. When you get into like, there's different hormones that control appetite and satiation that are produced at night. And if you're not sleeping, it's not being produced. So you always feel hungry. Then also being tired, you always think, oh, if I just eat something, I'll feel awake. So you're just eating, sugar and garbage.
Yeah. I do. So I would say the last probably, oh, shoot. I'm trying to think. Probably 3 to 4 years. I feel like I've had issues with, I don't know what the term for it is. I just call it like being with it. So like if I'm it started like when I was in the RV driving. I felt like I was getting like dizzy and like almost to the point where I'd have to pull over, regather myself and go down the road. But then once I got dizzy, I felt like I would become disoriented quicker after it happened the first time. Comes and it goes, right? And then I feel like it's kind of been happening driving just a regular car. Same kind of thing though. Just like, not like loopy, just like almost like you can't focus correctly. Like I don't know what that is, right?
You might fall asleep.
So I don't know. It doesn't feel like falling asleep though.
See, I would be driving and I feel my eyes closing, but they're still open.
Yeah.
But then like all of a sudden, like, why is the tree talking to me? It's like, because you're dreaming, dumb fuck. You're asleep. So
this isn't that though.
Okay.
This is very like I'm very much aware of what's going on. Like there's no hallucination part. There's just like my head feels like your head's loose. Like the brain is moving almost. And then it started happening like when I would like be walking in a parking lot. Like just the inability to focus. Like my eyes were there. Like everything was there. Like it wasn't that, but it was almost like at any moment you felt like you could like tip to one side. Just out of balance, out of whack, right? I think part of that has led to some anxiety issues though. So we've actually upped my Zoloft from 25 milligrams to 50. Now, one of the things, when I went off of Zoloft, we didn't know what the prescription was because my doctor retired, right? And when I ended up going to a new doctor and I had been off of it and I was having the panic attacks, and I think 2020, we didn't know what to put me back on at, so we only did 25. Now, I wish my doctor would have been a little bit more knowledgeable, because apparently 25 milligrams of Zoloft is like a children's dose. Well, I'm 300 fucking pounds. I'm not sure it was doing what it needed to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I don't know that was what the issue was, right? Well, we just upped it to 50 to see if it helps with these episodes. And with some anxiety issues. Like, I've had some weird episodes with that. And for me, anxiety is like the full body. Like, these other times, it doesn't feel like anxiety. It just feels like I can't, like my head's loose. The anxiety is like the full body tingles and just a little bit, like the panic sets in and whatnot. The Xanax seems to help with that, but I only take that like in bad, desperate times because I'm fucking scared of the shit out of that drug. But I think like not only with the sleep apnea, but I think I got to get the head thing figured out too. And it could be from sleep deprivation, but I don't feel like I'm falling asleep. It's not that, like, I know that feeling, like when you kind of get that dozing off feeling. This is different, and I don't know what it is. Like, almost to the point where I almost want to get like a head scan, to see if anything is pressing on something that could be causing it. Because it's like a weird feeling, like you can't. It's like sometimes it's like in the back of the head can cause nausea a little bit, but other times it's just like on the top of the head, where it's like just you can't describe what the feeling is though, because it's not normal. Like, I've never had that kind of feeling before. And it's so infrequent, and I can't predict it. It's almost like the car, right? Like, I can't predict when the car is going to have its issues. So when I take it to the mechanic and it doesn't do what it's doing, like, how do you tell them it's happening?
Yeah.
Right? So if I go to the doctor and say, hey, look, this is what I've kind of been feeling, but I can't really, like I'm having the feeling, but I can't really describe what it is. Okay. Well, at that point, is it just time to get a scan of my head?
Yeah.
Because what if it's my sinuses? Right? Like, that can have an impact on your balance. Or is it something like vertigo? Maybe it's that, right? But vertigo, I feel like the people that I've seen that have vertigo, it's like debilitating. Like, they got to be like carried somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they could barely ride in a car. Like, this isn't to that level, I don't think. But maybe it's going there. Like, I don't know. Like, so I got to get some of that figured out. Because it definitely causes some anxiety issues, but I've also had actual anxiety issues too. So I'm hoping the increased dose of Zoloft will help, even though I don't like the SSRIs. But at this point, we tried going off them, it didn't work.
Yeah. Got
Got put back on them. I think we didn't do the right dosage when I went back on them. So the problem is, I just started the elevated dose 4 days ago. I think it takes like a full month for it to kick in.
There's the therapeutic effect or whatever. So
yeah, I don't know if the I call it break-in time, like it's a fucking car, because I've already got it in my system. Maybe the build-up time won't be as much, but I'm assuming I'm not going to try and make any decisions until I've been doing this for 30 days at the higher dose. So we'll see. Still doing the testosterone though, once a week. Off the metformin. I didn't lose any weight on it.
Right.
And to be honest with you, like, since I've gone off of it, I've lost weight.
Yeah.
So
no.
I got back down to 314. So I think I was like 318. Like, I had gained 15 pounds back. So now I'm at 314. So I'm only like 11 pounds over what I was when my low. One thing the metformin definitely did, I know it's kind of a mishmash of a health episode. Well, maybe we probably need to do another one.
Yeah.
Like a full-blown one. But the one thing with the metformin, and we talked about this before, was that if I ate too much, I felt sick. That part hasn't really gone away. Like, if I eat too much, like, I definitely pay for it.
Yeah.
To the point where now when I eat, I'm very conscious of it. Like, I'm like, okay, if I eat that last, like, if I eat that last bite of spaghetti or something, I'll probably be hurting later on. And And like not just like, oh, I got a stomach pain, or oh, I feel heavy, or oh, I feel full. No, like it's like just pain.
Yeah. There's a difference between pain and feeling a little bloated from eating too much.
No, it's just like pain throughout my stomach, and like, it doesn't feel good. It's beyond uncomfortable. So like I've got to really make sure. Like the other night, my daughter had softball practice. It was early though, so we went to pizza shop. I literally guess for dinner, 1 slice of cheese pizza.
Oh wow,
that's it. And you know something? I was really proud of myself for that, because like to go, and we don't get pizza that often anymore. Because in my house, it's like everyone, like I got one who's gluten free, one who doesn't want this, one who doesn't want that. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm close to killing 3 pizzas in my house of those savages that live at my house. So
when I go, for me, it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get all the pizza with all the toppings. And they had a single cheese pizza left because it was late at night, and I was like, got a slice of cheese for me, a slice of cheese for the kid, and that was it. And I was like, when I went to bed that night, I was like, all right, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
One, because it was 1 slice of pizza, didn't kill my day. But 2, I physically didn't feel bad because I didn't overeat and feel like shit. So I think that's why I've kind of kept some of the weight off, and why the weight's going down now. I don't know what happened with that metformin though. Like that metformin, my weight should have gone down on that, like a lot more than it did.
Yeah.
And it didn't at all. I gained weight on it. So I guess it's not for everyone, right? But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it wasn't the right drug that we were supposed to use. But I'm glad I'm off of it because I feel a lot better.
It gives some people the shits. So
I'm sure that was part of it. Like it definitely gave me some stomach issues, and I've got stomach issues anyway. But I definitely feel physically better off of it. And I don't know what, like, I don't know, even my head feels better, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I was having those head issues that I talked about before. I was having that before I went on it. But it got worse when I went on it. And I think it was pushing my blood sugar too low. Because I'm not diabetic, and my numbers have actually almost pushed me out of pre-diabetic before the metformin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because the metformin pushes down that blood sugar, if you're not diabetic and it's pushing it way down low, you get that low blood sugar sickness. I think that was part of the problem. Like, look, I'm not saying that you need sugar to survive, but if your blood sugar gets that low that you feel sick, and you've got a drug artificially pushing it down, I think that's what was happening. Yeah. I think it just made me feel sick a lot. So I don't know. I got to get this shit right. Like I feel like I was on a good path last year, and then we kind of took a turn. And like the last half of last year and the early part of this year, I just wasn't feeling good. So we're at 103.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're doing this late at night. This is after midnight.
This is like 3 hours past my bedtime.
I know, me too. We were going to talk about other cars too. Shit.
Oh well.
But fuck it. All right. You all got a mishmash of an episode. You got some cars. You got some health. Don't take metformin. No, I'm just kidding. All right. We'll talk to you guys next time. I want to thank Adam Chubbuck with TechMD.com. If you do need some help in the real estate game, either buying or selling them, go check them out, techmd.com. Like, subscribe, comment, share. We'll see you guys next time.